Hey, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
We're back.
Yes, finally. So it's been, a month or more? Okay.
Longer than we wanted
So,
to.
yes, we are the Newborn Photographer Diaries. This is Jackie and I'm Arielle.
Yeah.
Um,
We're in Arielle's studio today.
yes, we decided to start doing this in person on a regular basis. So, a little backstory, because no one knows this, but we have recorded 2 podcasts since the first podcast. And we did that at each other's, like where you were at your space, I was here.
Yeah.
And we had internet issues, we had technology issues, we had recording issues. I could not edit them to actually look good or sound good.
It's been a journey.
It's been a trip. And we decided that instead of dealing with the technology, that we'll just meet in person once a month.
I think Arielle's still trying to convince me to move up here.
Yeah. I know. Is it working?
I mean, I would really love to. I would love to. We've
I don't think it is working anymore.
I just have to convince my husband.
Yeah.
Like, he's the problem.
Yeah. Well, one day, maybe.
It's always nice to have a studio wife.
Yeah, for sure. But at least we don't live very far away from each other. So driving to each other's house or studio once a month is not that big of a deal.
Not at all.
So we're almost 3 hours?
2.5.
2.5 hours away.
And it's not a bad drive either. Like, it's not a long 2.5 hours.
Right.
There's a difference, I think.
Yeah. It's not like driving across the state.
No.
4 or 5 hour drive or something like that. It's a doable drive. Like if you live in the rural part of the state, you're pretty used to driving distances anyway. I drive 45 minutes to go to Walmart.
Yeah. And the drive is a lot, mostly highway, but then you do get off the highway and then that's just really pretty through the little up north towns. And so it's kind of a good breakup of just on the highway for 2.5 hours.
Yes. Which is boring.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of highway driving, my son is in driver's training and he had the highway drive the other day. No, he was so nervous. He gave me a hug getting out of the car to go to his drive because he was so nervous. I'm like, this kid never hugs me. And then he comes home and he's like, that was so much fun.
Oh, no.
I'm like, so the lead up was more anxiety ridden than the actual drive. He's like, yeah. He's like, I really loved it. He liked going 80. And I'm like, oh dear Lord.
I hate that time. We have 3 more that have to go through it, and I'm just I'm dreading.
Yes. I was so nervous. I was watching him on Life 360 the whole time. And
And you're going 71 at 70.
It turns out he really loved it. So I'm like, great. Now I have a need for speed, kid.
Yeah, good. Well, then maybe he'll move to Grand Rapids.
And then take the highway all the time.
All the time. Sucks.
Anyway, so we have had 2 topics that we've talked about that will never see the light of day just because of our technology issues, but now we're going to re-record them.
The topics are going to see the light of day.
That's right, but the recordings are not. No.
Yeah.
Which the 2 topics were imposter syndrome and trends.
Yeah.
So we're going to redo the imposter syndrome one today.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And actually, it's okay that we got it recorded because, I know this week for me, I've got a lot of content to talk about now.
No, yeah, because you had quite the week last week.
I did. Yeah, I had 7 babies last week.
Which is mind-blowing.
So just for a little bit of a reference point, I try very hard when I'm scheduling and someone reaches out with their due date to not have more than 2 sessions per week because you're not just shooting the session. I've got to answer the emails. I have to keep up with my editing and soft proofing, and then the cleanup directly after a session, the session. I have 3 sitters on rotation, and they're all so sick of me that today, my kids are with Arielle's
my husband. He's babysitting today.
We're like, we need a break. they didn't say that, but they were all very busy.
Conveniently busy.
And I understand. And I miss my kids. That was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a typical session takes if I'm really good and baby's really good and we're just doing baby, I've done it in 2 hours. But typically between 3 and 4 hours is my...
Yeah.
At 4 hours, I'm usually telling parents if we don't have anything, let's just talk about it next time. which I had one of those this week.
Yes, you did. And you hadn't had one in a really long time.
I haven't had to ask a family to come back in 2 years.
That's crazy.
This week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because I feel like the more and more we talk, the more I feel like we're the same person, just living in 2 different locations.
Yeah.
And one's blonde, one's brunette. But because like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I have never had to ask someone back other than the one like 2 years ago. It was about 2 years ago. And she didn't want to come back. She ended up loving what she got. Even though I think she got absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had one not that long ago where I offered it, but they said no.
Yeah. And like I'm not one to offer. I will try. And even if my gallery is not like as complete as maybe the baby the day before,
right?
I have like in mind, this is what I have to get to be okay with it and not offer it. So there maybe were some suggestions that I could have been like, you can come back because they weren't as full as other galleries, but
right.
If I have only gotten one set up with your baby in 3 hours, that's usually my like
that's stressful.
We're coming back.
That's so stressful. I would be like I would be like, just leave and come back. Like I'm not trying anymore.
And this family was baby just was having an off day. He had tummy issues, and mom, dad, we all tried everything, and he just needed he needed to come back another time.
Yeah. So how soon are you having him come back?
In a week.
A week.
Giving him he was about a week old. He was a little over a week old. So giving his tummy like a week to kind of
get regulated
to just adjust. And I think that's sometimes what it takes. And so
those baby ages, they're so hit and miss.
I don't ever know. Like I used to say 10 days was perfect, and see, I used to say like 19 to 20 days was perfect. Yeah.
And then I had like a string of really rough ones that were about that age. And now I'm having great ones at like the 14-day range.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like one that was just insane. I'm like, well, maybe it's just not a thing. And it is what it is.
I think that's another podcast topic for sure.
That is totally.
I mean, I just had an 8-week-old and he was a preemie. So like adjusted age, he was not even supposed to be born yet. But he was amazing. He blew.
So he was more than 8 weeks early?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he was 8 weeks early. So he was due Sunday, and I took him, I think his session was Thursday.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was.
Wow. Yeah, so he was just born likewise.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he did amazing. But I've had, 5-day-olds, which I don't usually.
Don't recommend.
Don't do 5-day-olds.
No.
But that was a case of not complete honesty with the date they were born.
Oh my gosh. Have you had parents lie like that?
Just a couple. That was one, and it was a couple days off. And honestly, I think it's because you hear so much that like there's so many photographers that won't go past 14 days because they don't curl up. So I think sometimes when parents read that, they get anxiety that they're not going to be curled and sleepy, and
that they'll be turned away.
Yeah, or like the sooner you get them in, the curlier and sleepier they're going to be. But that's not the case always. Like
like I have a really chubby 7-week-old like picture out there, and she did. I mean, it took a lot to get her to go to sleep, but once she did the cutest bum up ever.
Yeah. And I've done like I did a 3-week-old that he was 21 days. Yeah. And he did every single table pose, curled up, smushy. He was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have had that before.
Yeah.
I've never had someone the opposite, which I mean, knock on wood.
Right.
Said,
Do we have wood?
Said that their baby was like younger and they came in early or later, older.
I honestly think I had one.
Did you?
She will not admit it though. And it's funny.
Were they smiling and gooing it?
Yeah. She was. I'm not kidding. This baby was supposed to have been almost 3 weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks. But what's kind of funny is that, so a little backstory, she was my birth client. Like I do birth photography as well. And she was my birth client. And then suddenly she just said that she didn't want me there anymore. She didn't want birth photography. She didn't want anyone there. And the midwife told me that it's probably because she had family wanting to be there, and she was just telling blanket everyone no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. That's fine. I'll fully, respect those boundaries and stuff like that. but I honestly think she just had such a fast delivery and I missed it and she didn't want me to know. And because she never messaged me or anything like that. And then she just canceled the birth photography stuff. So she transferred all funds to a newborn session. But when I wrapped that baby up, that baby was eye contact and smiling and cooing at me. And I'm like, this kid is not 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way this kid was almost 3 weeks.
It's the cooing that's the indicator, because like I've had babies not necessarily like smiling on demand, but like stare at me and they follow me and I'm like, ooh, you're but like when you're cooing and smiling and like response to seeing, it's like, no.
She followed me and she smiled at my expression. I'm like, this is not a 3-week-old baby. And she was huge, like just huge.
Yeah, that was.
And I'm like, you must have had her early and then I don't know. Something just fell off. But like calendar wise, I mean, it made sense. Like it should have been fine, but maybe this baby was just advanced.
I don't know, the cooing thing.
maybe she just came out like a toddler already. I don't know.
I mean, I've had babies come to me the size of a toddler.
Right? I know. Maybe she just, because even the mom, she's like, I've been told I practically skipped the newborn stage. And I'm like, kind of have.
It's very advanced.
It's very advanced.
Awesome.
Anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
I love that we get a chat for like
but it kind of segues
minutes.
in because like we talked about a little bit about the hard sessions. I mean, besides age. And I had 7 babies last week and most were very good. I did have a couple that were difficult, and I did leave those sessions questioning like, am I actually good at this? Because, you know, some days you have like clients that will come in, they're like, you're like a baby whisperer. And I'm like, that is a huge compliment.
Right.
And then you have sessions that don't go the way that you had planned, expected. And you walk away like, oh, am I really good at this?
Yeah.
Plus I'm having some major color issues that like my clients hopefully won't be able to know.
They'll never know. No.
But for me, I have to edit a different way, which is like throwing like a wrench in everything. So
yeah,
just like,
which makes you doubt. When you go through an editing crisis, I think that just multiplies the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And a million
session went bad. Then you have like
editing
issues. And you're like, this is just not my day.
This is like a perfect storm. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a session coming up tomorrow, actually. It's an outdoor family session, and I haven't done an outdoor session since last summer.
Yeah, and she says that, but I've seen her outdoor session work, and I'm like, yeah.
But I like, this is a repeat client, and she expects top-notch stuff, and like, I feel like I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to deliver.
Yeah.
So my imposter syndrome is really hitting me. I'm very nervous about tomorrow's session for sure.
Well, you're gonna kill it. I know it.
Thankfully, the kids are older. But like, thankfully, the kids are older, and I'm like not panicking about like trying to get a toddler to cooperate or anything like that. But I am very nervous just because I'm the biggest people pleaser ever, and I don't want to disappoint her.
I don't know how you feel, but I feel like I am a studio photographer. You throw me on the outdoors, and it's just like, oh, there's a lot more that I can't control. I can miss the studio. You can control so much.
Have you ever thought about just not doing outdoor sessions ever?
Yeah.
Just saying, nope, that's not a service I offer?
So I one day hope to be putting this out in the world. I one day hope to be the go-to newborn photographer and taking on every once in a while milestone sessions because I like seeing the babies come back. I do.
Yeah.
But if I could choose 2 sessions to ever like just have my calendar filled and wouldn't have to take anything else, it would be newborn and personality portraits.
Oh yeah.
Like
that would be it. So like no maternity, no milestone, no cake smash.
No. So there's things that I like about all of them. Like maternity, I like meeting my clients before because then I feel like when they come in for newborn, they're more relaxed, which makes baby more relaxed because they've met me before.
Right.
We've connected, hopefully. And then I like seeing my babies come back so that like, oh my gosh, you've grown. I can still see that newborn, but you're such a you're a human.
Yeah.
And I do like seeing the families. So I do have some families. Like right now, I'm at the point where I only schedule outdoor family sessions for returning clients.
I like that idea. Maybe I should just do that.
Yeah. So if you haven't booked a newborn session with me, at one point I was extending it to personality portrait sessions, but now I don't, because those are one of my lowest packages that I offer. So now it's like, if you've booked a newborn session with me, then you're basically on my roster
for family.
Yeah. Because I just don't have time anymore, which I mean, it's great. But I want to leave that space in my calendar for newborn bookings.
Yeah.
So
that's my goal here too, is to be the newborn photographer. And I feel like I've actually kind of accomplished that up here.
I think so.
Because I'm one of the only ones actually within a 2-hour radius that does do pose newborn.
Yeah. And your work is amazing. So.
Well, see, and I don't think that, but thank you.
Okay. So she says that, but she just booked a client that's from Chicago area. They're visiting here.
Well, they're visiting, yeah.
But, I mean, they're from the big city and they want you to photograph their baby.
Which is really cool.
So,
I definitely...
So toot your own horn a little bit.
I don't like doing that. I'm not good at it. But what was I saying? Anyway, yeah, I want to be the go-to newborn photographer, just like how you said. But then I was talking with a fellow friend and photographer in our area. She primarily does weddings and families, and she's like the mini session queen. Like, she just does all of them, like 60 plus families every single time that she does. It's crazy. Like, I could never. Mini sessions are not my thing. But she does them, and we were talking, and she's like, "Why don't you just do families too? Like, that way they're there for you, like, all the time, like maternity, newborn, families, like, they'll just follow with you."
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes sense, but I want to be comfortable in, like, the one thing. It's harder to be comfortable in more than one thing. I think, like, well, that's just for me,
especially when we're talking about going into, like, we kind of touched on that our last one, that luxury
luxury tier,
right? Yeah. You really, yes, your marketing has to be top of game, because, like, there are people in the luxury market that I think quality wise maybe aren't there, but they are still getting clients because of their marketing.
Yeah.
But you want to be seen as, like,
you have the niche.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a specialty.
Yeah.
It's the analogy that I've learned in, like, a mentoring type of situation was, like, if you have a baby, do you take them, or a broken bone or whatever, do you go to your, like, general physician, or do you go to a specialist?
Yeah.
And I really like that concept, because I want to be known as the newborn specialist, the pediatrician in that analogy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, versus, like, taking my baby to a general practitioner.
Yeah.
Like, and I have a medical field background, so, like, that clicked with me, and I'm like, that makes sense. So, but if I'm doing families and maternities and all these other things, then I'm not, and maybe those just can be add-on services.
I mean, you're not going to go get a steak at McDonald's.
Right.
I mean, that's true.
I like that one too.
They're not a steakhouse. If you want a good steak and you know quality, you're not going to go to McDonald's for steak. I mean, that might be touching on a little different part, but it's true.
But then not doing these sessions that often, like, I think that plays into the imposter syndrome
for sure.
It's the doubting your skills and your ability because you're not used to doing those types of sessions. So
what do you think? Let's go to imposter syndrome. And I think you just kind of was a good segue into that. Yeah. When do you do you feel it all the time, I guess, like the imposter syndrome, or is it something that, like, comes and goes?
I think I feel it like 75% of the time.
Okay.
How about you?
I feel like it ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's session by session. Sometimes it's week by week, month by month.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel it with your cycle, like your hormonal cycle?
No, I don't think so.
I do. I do.
I think that's because I start getting it for different reasons. So that's the next question I have for you. When do you start feeling, like, what do you think triggers the imposter syndrome?
Well, I have a history of depression and anxiety, and we touched on that a little bit before, I think, or maybe that was one of the recordings that will not work. But so I struggle a lot with that, and I've had postpartum depression, and I also major depression kind of runs in my family, and so I kind of get a touch of that, and I'll feel like this ebb and flow. And so if I get crazy busy, and then my like home life suffers, and then I start to shut down, and I kind of like, I can't do anything.
Right.
And then, but I think the busier that I am, the less imposter syndrome I feel. The less busy that I am, the more imposter syndrome I feel, because I feel like, oh, it's been a couple weeks. Now I'm not going to know what to do. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Like that whole, like, nobody likes me. I know, like, sometimes I take things so personal.
If you're not getting a booking or something like that. So like those kinds of things trigger it. So like if I'm super busy, I'm good. But if I'm not busy, I'm feeling it. But if I'm at the same thing as a double-edged sword, if I'm super busy, then I get overwhelmed, and then I get depressed, and then I'd be like, I need to stop what I'm doing. I need to quit everything.
And it's like a full scale stop. It's I totally get what you're saying. It's not like okay, we're gonna just slowly slow down. It's like I need to stop everything.
I almost quit like everything. I almost quit every single job that I do, because like I also still hold the job at the hospital, and I'm like, I'm gonna quit everything. I'm done. I'm gonna sit on the couch and I'm not doing anything. But I think that's just like I need to find that balance for me, because that's who I am. And it's not something that I can fix. Because like I've tried, I've gone and asked for help, and turns out I'm allergic to the medication that would help. I'm allergic to antidepressants.
Difficult, huh?
So I can't do that. But unfortunately for me, that is a barrier, I think. What about you?
Mine's a little different. I definitely feel it when I think that I've failed a client. And I don't know of any. I'm sure I have, but I don't know of any clients that I failed. But like if I have a session where I couldn't get my light right, or like as much as it is muscle memory, every baby's different. Every baby, as much as I know exactly how to lay them in certain posers or whatever, like there's still different face shapes. There's still different things. And some days I can't get my light right. I just had a session like that. And I'm still trying to figure out if it was my equipment, if it was just something I was doing right, or their skin color. But like, I know in the end it's going to be all right. Like rationally, I know in the end it's going to be all right. But the irrational side of me is I just failed my clients. And then I feel like I don't think I'm worth that person seeking me out. And then it kind of spirals a little bit, because then I stop being so outgoing as far as like marketing and connecting. And
so you feel like those kinds of things spiral down.
And then like the next day or the next week I'll have a session. I mean, this just happened. That is like amazing, and everything is right, and I don't feel like I changed anything like technically or anything. I did my thing, but it just turned out amazing. And then I feel like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
So yours is more like based on success of your session versus anything else.
And I think a lot of that has to come from like getting better and getting noticed, I guess, for your work. And then you hear that, you're noticed, like, oh, your work is good, and then you have like one, you're like, this is not good, like, and then it kind of feels like you're a phony, like,
and I think validation too, like, that helps. Like I posted some pictures just the other day, and I got no likes on it at all. I think maybe it was yesterday. But then I'm like, I think it just didn't get approved. And then it popped up, and I'm like, but still no one's liked it. I'm like, okay, I really do suck.
Well, I don't think you suck. And now I'm going to have to go through and find it, and then I'll like it, unlike it, and like it again. So
sometimes I'll like my own post just to push it back up there.
That's a good idea.
Then you unlike it because you don't want to be caught being the one that
likes your own stuff. I've accidentally liked my own stuff, and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to unlike that now. But that's, mine I think is very much based on performance. Maybe it's the oldest child in me that like wants to be perfect at everything, and then it's really hard when you're not perfect.
And you're people pleaser.
And in this industry, you're never perfect. Like,
and well, it's art too. So like art is so, what is it, subjective? So everyone's got different tastes, different likes and dislikes. So what you may love in your art, someone else might not.
That's true.
So like that's a whole thing with it comes to finding your right client, finding someone who wants your style.
I get so nervous though when I get a client that like does an inquiry and you can tell they're just reaching out to me, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but they're like over what is it called? Complimentary of your work. Like, we love it. I've been following you for years, blah, 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 blah,
sunshine up your butt kind of thing.
Yeah. But like when they're like, we've been following. I had one client that they're like, we've been following you for years, and then we're pregnant now. We've had, 2 losses, and you're the one for us. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of pressure.
So that is a lot. Yeah.
Because this could go really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that pressure on some situations too, and that stresses me out so bad. I mean, it's so flattering.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, crap.
What if this is what if I fail session that like I fail at? And
what if I totally suck?
I know. And I think this one was extra pressure because they're like, this is the only baby we'll have. And I was like,
oh my God.
I can't.
Family, I'm like, okay, don't tell me these things till after our session.
Yeah,
then it'll be okay.
That'll be a perfect session.
Yeah.
Like, please don't tell me your baby sleeps all the time. Don't tell me that like, they never cry because just wait till after the session.
Right.
But yeah, like,
do you have any other triggers?
No, I think that's the biggest one that I don't know.
What about like the booking out, like people around you booking out and then you not booking?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have that issue since you literally had one session every day for the whole week.
That was an anomaly.
I was going to say, like, just last month, I think I only had one session, newborn session. I had a couple others,
it was actually just like a baby boom because these were not due dates that were anywhere near each other. Like, I guess a little behind the scenes is if I get an inquiry and I have 2 due dates that week for that inquiry, I'm not going to book them because I just knowing how flexible things are, like that's my 2.
See, I don't even pay attention to that. I'm like, yes, I got time for you.
No. I think I
overbook myself.
I would love to, but I just know like that I'm setting myself up then to have all the babies. So this was like some were due 3 weeks before, 3 weeks after, and then they all just came the same week. And I was talking to one of my parents who is, she is a labor delivery nurse at the local hospital. And she said, yeah, we've been so busy the last couple of weeks. And she said, when I was in the hospital, they weren't doing any inductions because everybody was coming in.
Like, oh my gosh.
So it's that holiday 4th of July. I live in a way bigger city than you. So that's, I think, another big factor.
Yeah, for sure.
But, but in a slower time period so living in a bigger city, there are a lot more of photographers near me. There are a lot that are specialized in newborn photography. There are a lot that are actually amazing wedding photographers and are starting to book newborn because they had a baby and now they're wanting to not be working on the weekends. Totally understand. And they're doing theirs cheaper because they're starting. And so it's a very much more saturated market where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I'm slower and I see newborn trying to break into the top, how do we call it, the top tier of our area of newborn photographers, and you see those that are there and they're booking a lot more or showing a lot more that week, I do start to feel like, and then it becomes a little more personal. Like, I'm not liked, which is so stupid. And it's not true. Like, if you ever feel that way, it's not true. It's just not.
There's enough clients out there for everybody.
There is totally. It's
even though it doesn't feel like it.
It is just the person that I am. And honestly, I don't even think anything happened in my childhood to make me that way. It's just my personality.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be liked.
And we're like 4 or 5 years into this business and we're still feeling this way. So it's never just as a beginner. I think it's just, it evolves. No, it evolves.
And I've talked to some
we're not immune
for decades. And they've had the same feelings. Like, they have to check, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
So what about you? What about, like you said, bookings were kind of low. Do you think that kind of plays into it?
For me, 100%. Yeah. I felt like, just like you, I felt like no one wanted me. And I'm like, because there are like some other really great photographers in my area, but they don't niche down to like newborn like I do. They don't specialize into like studio newborn or anything like that. But they do like lifestyle newborn, and they do price themselves much cheaper than me.
Sure.
And I do find that a lot of people will go to them for that reason. And I'll instantly like personal, I'll take it as a personal thing, but then I got to realize I do charge a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's most likely just a budget thing.
This industry is just so hard because it is art. It really is art. And when you're talking art, if you're a true artist and not just, I think, in it for the easy money, which
it's not easy money.
Spoiler alert, it's not easy money. But I think sometimes it's viewed that way. And you're putting a piece of yourself into that. So yes, I'm photographing somebody else's baby, and yes, I'm providing a service for them.
Right.
But it's also something for me. Like, it is an art for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though, like, in that when I first started, I felt like it was more of just for the art. But now that like I'm the breadwinner and I'm the main income, now I feel like that part has maybe got suffocated, and now I'm like chasing after paying the bills, and I feel like maybe that might play into a little bit for me, for sure. I need to refine that creative spark. And what I'm just gonna say, like, working with you, doing this with you, doing sessions with you, like, that's been helping find that like creative spark again. But it's hard. It's hard to, like, when you have to make money doing art, it no longer becomes art.
And I think that really that's a good point, like, to kind of go to the next thing is like how to get out of that feeling. And I think that's like, you helped me get out of that feeling. And I think that's really important to have somebody in the industry, a friend or mentor or somebody in the industry that can listen to you when you're down at those points. And not someone who's going to like blow smoke up your ass and be like, you're ridiculous, don't feel this way. But just like, so I had a bad session, I'll send you a picture of it and be like this is defeating. Yeah. And you're not going to tell me, oh, that's amazing. You're going to help problem solve, but you're not also not going to be like, oh yeah, that's shit. Like,
no, I'm not. I thought that you sent me one that you thought was bad. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, what is bad?
But like,
and then I had to really like nitpick,
and that's okay. But that's like, at that, for me, like, that's what I need. I need someone to like, not tell me it's terrible, but I'm in this enough to know what I don't like about something, so I can label it. Like the one I sent you, it's so gray. I don't know what's wrong. Like, it's so gray. I don't like it. It's making me feel like I don't know what I'm doing because I can't figure it out. And then together we kind of you gave like, is it this? Is it that? And so then it helped me kind of walk away for a minute.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you tell me that too.
Yeah.
Walk away for a minute because like you just need some space from it.
Yeah.
And that's true. But just to have that person, I guess, to validate those feelings, but not to like make those feelings more enhanced, but to validate that every emotion needs to be validated. Yeah. And
to not say you're wrong.
Yeah.
And to not like also blow smoke up your butt too and make you like,
I swear more than you.
I know, I swear quite a lot, actually. I'm just trying not to.
We can bleep that out, maybe.
I'm okay with swearing. I just don't want to come across as like a horrible sailor. Like yeah. I promise I am professional.
I'm a horrible sailor. So if you're a client watching this, it's okay.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so that helps me is like having you. Like, truthfully, just having someone to talk to, because my husband will be like, oh, it's a baby. Cool. Yeah. Or sorry you had such a rough time. Pat. Okay, the dishes need to be done. Or the kids were a mess today. And I'm like, okay, let's go on
to the next.
While I'm stewing here. But
yeah, Zach wouldn't really know. It was just because they don't really know. They're not in that. They don't understand that kind of stuff.
Well, and then Owen is like, my husband Owen, he is an engineer, and I don't care what you say, you can pick out an engineer in a lineup. They think differently. And I love the way he thinks. He can remove emotion out of it, and not in like a terrible way, but he removes all emotion, is very logical, and he's rational about how he thinks through problems, or not even problems, but just life. I am not that. I am very emotional, like charged, and that's the artist in me. I think like that's just how and why we complement each other. And so he doesn't get it. He doesn't. Because he doesn't have the emotion invested in it.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's really funny though.
He's
Yep.
It's an engineer.
Yeah. Good excuse.
Yep.
I guess so. Does that leads into like comparison trap of comparing each other's work to other photographers, like scrolling through social media.
I mean, that can trigger some imposter syndrome for me.
100%. Like I've unfollowed people for that reason, and I'm pretty sure I've been unfollowed for that reason.
Well, I mean, as it should be. But I mean, I especially feel it hard when I've had a bad session and I see someone who had like a really good session, and I'm like, what?
Right. And then in our group too, like the Hello Little group and stuff like that. And when we like compare to like, so there's some people in there that post like way more. Like, this one. And I barely ever post. And so when like you post, it just blows up and everyone is like, I want to be you, your goals, and I love you.
And it makes me so uncomfortable.
And then I post and I don't get a single like.
I like you right now. Shut up.
So like social media is like evil when it comes to, I think, dealing with imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is definitely, I think, also mental health.
Ooh, yeah.
In a way. So if you're feeling it just by scrolling, stop scrolling.
Yeah, just pause it.
Shut it off.
Like,
put your phone down and automate your posts and put it away.
I'm a little different though than you on that subject. Like, I do feel the same feelings you do, where you're gonna follow. It kind of charges me like the competitiveness in me.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm competing with the person who had a great session. I am community over competition all day long. But it's like now a competition with myself. That's like, okay, that next one, I'm gonna figure this out for that next session, and it's gonna blow that last one out of the water. I mean, that's just truthfully how I can dig myself out, because if I don't, like, it doesn't go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, just by unfollowing it doesn't go away for me.
Like, just like be saying, oh, that sucked, no, now I suck, versus, okay, that sucked, but I'm going to do better next time. That mental
and sometimes
shift.
Looking at my own work. I mean, so if I were to have a really bad session and I see someone else, that whole like comparison trap, right? Somebody else had a really good session, then I'm going to go look at my old work and like the stuff that I like, and I'm like, okay, I am not bad. Right. This is a bad session. Almost like those affirmations, right? I am not terrible. I just had a bad session. I'm gonna write that. I am a good photographer. Write it 10 times. Put a post-it note on my mirror. Whatever. Like, it was a bad session. Not even a bad session. It was an off session. I am a good photographer. I know what I'm doing. It's okay. Like,
all babies are different.
And then it does end up, like, that's the thing. It does end up being okay. It's just those feelings. But
do you think you had more imposter syndrome before you got the education? Like HLP education?
No, I think I have it more now. I think, honestly, I was so naive. I remember posting in the group, like one of the first times was my nephew's session. And I remember posting a picture and he's wrapped in this white wrap. I'm going to see if I can find it so we can try to put it in there.
Is it the one that you posted, that little like video?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
That was
a different one.
This is the youngest nephew, which I got a little better from my oldest to my youngest, but I didn't have that education. But he's wrapped in this white wrap, and it was like my first Hello Little like backdrop and wrap. So I felt so professional. I had the lifters. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. I don't have the education, but I've been in the group following. Because sometimes you can get sometimes you get like a little bit of free advice in there. Like when somebody posts something and somebody maybe from the education group also comes in and like comments on it if they're asking for CC, and they'll give you like little freebies here and there. So I remember walking in, took the picture, and I remember posting in Hello Little. I didn't have like any of my education, and I was like, "This is the photo that I can't believe that I'm the one who took this." And in that moment, I felt like I was amazing. Like I was on par with all these top photographers. Like I felt amazing
there, because I totally want to go find it.
And now I look at it and I am so embarrassed, because I'm like, these other photographers who were like, and everybody's so kind in that group. Like honestly, if you're a newer photographer, I can't recommend Hello Little, like their community group outside of the education
for sure
enough, because it is the nicest group of photographers. Nobody has an ego there. Not one person said like, oh, this is this is okay. They're all like, oh, yay, good for you.
Yeah.
But now I look back and I'm like, cringe. They must have sat behind their computer like, oh my gosh. But so I feel like it's that whole like what you don't know, you don't know.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. So after knowing this stuff,
now
I
different.
feel it. Yeah. Now I feel it.
I remember feeling that way too when I did Lincoln's he was 6 weeks old. I thought I did so good.
Yeah.
I thought they were amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And we just talked about growth in the group too.
We did. Yeah.
And I post this video every year. They'll open up their ed group every once in a while and they'll ask people to like post their before and afters. And so I made this video and I'll update it with newer images to kind of really show.
Yeah.
But I only use my oldest nephews and my son's, who's going to be 4 this week, his newborn pictures, because I get this icky feeling of using my clients' work. I know like everybody's gonna feel bad. Yeah, I don't want them to feel bad. But I don't think they would. It's a me thing. Like I don't want someone to accidentally find that and be like, oh, she thought these were crap.
Right.
And that's my baby and I love them.
Yeah.
So I just use my kids, but yeah, posted that.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that. I didn't do that this time. I should have. I'm like, I don't feel like digging. I don't feel like digging for the photos.
I have saved in my Canvas, so
I really need to.
Because you're amazing. Probably just not amazing.
Whatever.
Yeah, so that comparison trap, and I think knowing more.
Do you feel like it affects your business in any way?
I try not to. I don't know if
does it affect like your marketing? Or like how much effort you put towards like advertising and things like that?
I feel like when I start to feel it and I feel like I've failed, then I feel like I need to, it's almost like, so I used to play basketball and you couldn't end on a bad shot, right? So like you walk away from practice and if the last shot you took was a miss, you can't end on that. You have to shoot it. You have to make it. It's bad luck to leave without like making that basket. So that's kind of how I feel when I have a session that starts to make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm not as good as what I'm charging, that, all of this stuff, that I feel like I have to get a newborn in as soon as possible to
make
fix
it better.
that. Yeah. So I don't walk away with this shot, I guess.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah. So I think I amp up my marketing then.
Okay.
I think that I honestly start to market more so that I can get somebody in.
I think I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're not opposites in anything else. But I feel like if I have a bad session, I immediately like, why should I market? Because like I'm just not good enough. No one's gonna want to pay me that much money. And then of course I think the imposter syndrome does heighten a lot, especially if I get a client that prepays for anything. Because then I'm like, now I really feel the pressure to do a good job, and I feel like the imposter syndrome hits me then too. I think I think the imposter syndrome is like literally in every aspect in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I think the only time that I don't really know of any time that it's not there.
Like kind of an underlying.
Yeah, it's kind of like an underlying thing. I guess like when I was like really busy, I didn't really feel it as much.
Yeah.
But I guess now that I'm thinking more and more into it, because when we do these podcasts, like we literally we come up with a topic and then we
just kind of talk through it.
We don't pre-plan any of this. And so like now that I'm like really thinking about it, I'm like, it's kind of like always there. It is. And I feel like it's, now that I think about it, I think it is always there.
I feel like it is. I think you're right. I think it's always like the sleeping.
It's like a sleeping monster.
It is like, a sleeping monster. And it's always there to like, it's a sleeping dragon. We watched How to Train Your Dragon.
There you go.
It's a sleeping dragon. And it's doesn't take much to trigger it.
Yeah.
And
And I think you touched on, so like we do also create these little bullet points of like things that we do want to touch on or things like that. And one of them is ways to combat it. And you covered it by doing another shot, getting another shot.
Yeah. And then talking to somebody.
Session, and then talking to people.
Yeah.
And then also like if you do find social media, if you feel like you're comparing yourself in a negative way versus a trying to get better way, then unfollow.
Yeah.
Shut your phone off. Go focus on something else. Take a break.
Yeah. Yeah. Walk away. Like you tell me, walk away.
Walk away.
Yep.
Like reset yourself and come back.
And I think for me too, I do need to do that a lot. And that's why I really appreciate when you tell me, like, just take a break.
Because I feel like sometimes you just get so,
like
intense.
I mean, this is probably very unhealthy, so don't be like me. But I am, and we've talked about how obsessed I am with this job. I'm not kidding. Like, if I'm not momming and wifing, which sometimes I don't wife as much as I should, I am pouring myself into this art. Like, it consumes me sometimes. And so when you, and I need to really fall back into some other hobbies I have. So when you tell me to walk away, and even if it's like, all right, I'm going to walk away tonight, I'm not opening my computer. I'm going to put on trashy, like, Bravo TV, a reality show, have a chai tea and just sit. And like, then it's kind of like, okay. And I come back at it and it's like, she was right. This isn't,
you just gotta take a break.
I'm not bad. I do feel though, because we just talked about this when I walked into your studio today, I do feel like the imposter syndrome is sleeping, and I do feel like it affects my pricing. So I feel like even after good sessions, I still do not feel like I am worth more than I am charging. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there will always be a session that's not going to be perfect. And then I will feel really bad. Even though, like, the best of my sessions, I feel like, oh yeah, definitely worth it. Then there's always those, like, not so great ones that I feel like I'm not worth it. And I especially think in today's economical climate, that's a big word for me. I feel like the value of money and of just the upper middle class is so much more. And so, like, I don't want to provide something where they're going to feel like it wasn't worth it.
See, I think what could help is just the mindset shift, that how you feel what your value is different what a client will feel your value is.
True.
Because like that triplet session that you helped me with, I thought we barely got anything that was worth it.
And I thought it was a really great session.
She thought, but I thought I didn't get hardly any variety. I felt like I barely got anything good enough to actually fill a good gallery. Like, there was a couple epic shots, but there wasn't more than just a couple epic shots. There was just a few here and there. And honestly, if it wasn't for mug shots, their order probably would have been really small. Because they did buy a lot of mug shots. But still to this day, that was my highest paying order ever. And I thought it was absolutely crap.
Really? Because I walked away and I'm like, you posed 3 babies.
But you helped me pose those 3 babies. So it was not just me.
If anybody has ever done a triplet session before alone, please let us know. Because I don't think there is any way you could do a triplet session alone.
I hope you never do a multiple session alone.
I've done twins. I do twins a lot alone.
I would never.
There's no way. If you've done a triplet session alone, you are a god among men in the newborn photography world. Let us know, because I want to meet you.
I wouldn't recommend it. But I feel like the way that you value yourself is different than the way other people value.
I think so.
And I think if you, I don't know how to word this, but like the price tag you put on yourself, I think you're limiting yourself. If you let someone else decide how much they want to pay, like, not like pay what you can, not like that.
Don't do that.
No. But like how you set it up, where you have your time versus your images. So you have them pay for your time, and then you let them choose how many images they want at their budget or whatever. You'll be surprised at how much they're willing to pay for your service, and how much they'll value. Like, I think the way that the packages are set up, like where you get this number of images for this amount and that's all you get, I think that's super limiting. And it's like it's a ceiling. And I felt like with my pricing structure, I hated that the fact that, like, I had people willing to buy more, but I was limiting them. And I wanted to open that up. I wanted it to be an unlimited thing. I wanted people to, like, buy 5 to 10 images if that's all they could afford, or buy 72 images like that one maternity client did. Like, that would never have happened before.
But
and
okay,
so it's just,
so this is way off topic for just a second since we talked about that.
Yeah.
What if though, like you had, so for me, I have a hard time like thinking about that, because if you had 3 clients booked, right, for the month, and then like you have a minimum investment, right, for your time.
It's built in, yeah.
Right. So then if they just buy like 2 to 3 images, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm making less now than I would if I would have just done.
The way that it's built in, they can't buy less than 10.
Okay.
So like the minimum investment would be my session retainer plus my minimum collection. But I explain it to my clients that this minimum collection is not a package. They're more like benchmarks. Because when we go through your ordering appointment, you're not going to be limited to 10, 20, and 30. We're just going to eliminate until you can no longer eliminate, until you get to the point where it's so painful you can't say no anymore.
Yeah.
And then that's what we end up on. And then we price it out. And then I have these benchmarks where they're like, I'm probably giving a lot away here.
Sorry, I asked the question.
But like I have these benchmarks where they get essentially some freebies, you know, along the way. And it's more enticing each level. And
that was a straight off tangent, but
it was. But and I totally just gave away a lot of like, you know, great tips there. So take advantage of that. But but it really has helped me increase my sales. And it also helps not put that limit.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I totally understand that. Yeah. It's just, for me, it's just going to be like getting over that.
Because you're going to have a person that's going to think like, I'm going to pay as much as I can because that's because you're so valued by them.
But also I don't want someone choosing 100 newborn images, because newborn image editing.
I have never had someone choose 100.
Oh my gosh. Image editing. And there are programs out there, and I do know of photographers in my area that do a lot of images and 24-hour turnaround time, which you know what, so great on them. But you can tell, like, as a client you can't tell, but as a photographer I can tell that they're using these different programs or whatever.
But as a client, no one's gonna know,
right? And so but I hand edit everything, and if the lighting's really good, I can do it fairly quickly. But it's still, if you order 100 images, that's going to take half a year.
That 72 image maternity gallery killed me. Killed me. I could not look at that girl's face another time.
It's a lot. It's a lot when you hand edit. It's just a lot.
It was a lot. And I mean, they were fantastic people, the sweetest girl ever. But when you're trying to fix the same thing over and over again in 72 images, is be like, I can't look at this couple anymore.
Right. And I don't think I could deliver work that I would not be happy with either. Yeah. So I'd have to go through my whole process. And so,
yeah, I think a lot of it is a mental shift for sure when it comes towards that. I don't know how we got onto that with imposter syndrome, but
I mean, it's delivering products that you're happy with.
Yeah, for sure. And like being valued, I think that's a huge thing.
I think being valued, or having the feeling that you're valued, is a huge part of helping overcome imposter syndrome.
And you said your imposter syndrome kept you from charging more.
Well, yeah. So it's not that I think all of my clients value me. I don't think I can honestly say I've had a client that I didn't feel like they valued me or my work, like even when I was beginning. But it's just, you know, when you talk about like love languages, right? It's just like I need to feel like I'm valued to get to really like step out of that. Like,
what makes you feel valued?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, what's your love language?
My love language, I think it's words of affirmation for sure. So I love when a client comes back and they're like, and genuinely, not just like,
and they rave about it,
and just like, I love my images. And it needs to feel genuine, because being a words of affirmation girl, I can also see around BS. Like, this is what I'm supposed to say. Like, I know
I feel like you would thrive with an ordering appointment.
I probably would. I would probably like
100%
shit my pants the first one. Because I'm also not a salesperson.
You're not a salesperson.
Either,
so I don't feel salesy one bit.
Okay.
Like, I was really afraid of that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not being salesy at all.
So we need to have an episode on pricing for sure. Yeah. Because like we need to dig into this. Not necessarily like the vehicle and how you do it, but just like the
mindset about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's more of a service. Yeah. And I'm providing them an experience versus being salesy. Because I mentioned this on the podcast that we that we recorded that didn't work.
Like, so if you go back, you can watch that one.
No, this is the one that didn't work.
Okay.
Like our recording sucked. I couldn't edit it. But I had a maternity client. And I did her ordering appointment, and I do these slideshows in the beginning where I go through my favorites, and I edited a couple, and I'm watching them, and I'm just watching as the slideshow's playing, and she's just bawling, full blown, like ugly crying, and I'm like, what is going on? At first, I'm like,
does she hate that?
I know. I'm like, what's happening? And then he's like beaming and stuff like that. And he's just looking, and she's like wiping her face. And then after the slideshow, she's like, I never thought I was that beautiful. And I'm like, and right before this session, I was having some serious imposter syndrome because I don't do a whole lot of studio maternity. It doesn't come around a whole lot.
Yeah.
And so I was very afraid that I did a really bad job with her session. And we did 2 parts. So we did a studio and an outdoor. And like I said earlier, too, the outdoor stuff is just not my thing. And it was like the first time being outside photographing anything in a year. And I'm like, this is really going to suck. And in the moment, in the session, I'm like, I'm not lighting them right. I'm not positioning them right. Like nothing is right. Like nothing is right. It does not look good. I can't get posing. Like it lasted all of 20 minutes because I ran out of ideas. And I'm like,
and
this
like,
isn't good.
Side note, maternity, like I always feel like I just am doing the same thing
over and over. Yeah.
In a different outfit, in a different spot. But like, I know it's probably just because I'm not trained in that, I guess, because I'm sure if that's your genre,
that's your specialty,
then you're gonna laugh at me and be like, that's not true. But because it's not my specialty, like, and I'm not even, it's not my specialty, but I'm not bad at it either. So like,
right? No, you did some pretty fantastic stuff recently. But anyway, it was like I thought I did a really shitty job, but then when we did the slideshow, the mom was just bawling because she had some self-confidence, self-image issues. And she was bawling because she's like, I never thought I was that beautiful.
Oh.
And that like instantly made me like, okay, because that was the other thing we talked about that was in that other recording was purpose.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was losing my purpose in what I was doing. And she helped me kind of remind myself like, okay,
so what is your purpose?
That is my purpose. I still struggle with that. Like,
today, what's your purpose today? Famous.
Oh, for doing photography?
Yeah, or newborn photography. Like if you wanted to go specific, what's your why? What's your reasoning?
I think my why is ever evolving.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just, I feel like it's the cliche thing to say, like capturing those special little details for moms, because babies grow so fast. And then the maternity was like to remind women that they are beautiful. But also my why has evolved into like, I need to feed my family.
Yeah.
And I need to take care of my family and pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I still very much struggle with my purpose of what I do.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that plays into my own mental health issues. As I'll be sitting there editing this gallery that's like, however many images, and I'll be like, why am I doing this?
2:00 in the morning. Why am I doing this?
Well, it would be more like, why am I posing a baby like that? Like, why am I taking a picture like this? Why does it have to look like that?
Yeah. And that's going to be something we'll touch on again in trends.
I think so. But that'll be why I'd be like, what is the reason why I'm doing it? And why would anyone want to come to me for this? And then my brain will spiral and be like, why the hell am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And then I get a client like her that bawled her eyes out on the ordering appointment. And I'm like, okay, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's a reason.
Your why is because we all have our hospital photos from the 1980s. 1990s that are like, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. And like,
I mean, but I think having, even if it's evolving for whatever season of life you're in, having, if you start feeling those feelings of imposter and defeat, sitting back and really like, okay, what's my why? Why am I doing this? And if you can't come up with one, then maybe it is time to just take a step back. I mean, take less sessions, whatever. But
and also know my purpose kind of came about too, like when my dad died.
Yeah.
And all I wanted was pictures.
Yeah.
And all I have is a box full of Polaroids from back then.
Yeah.
And
so you see the value
so I see the value in having those pictures. But then I spin it around in my head stupidly, like, okay, yeah, they want these pictures, but why do they have to be posed like that? Like, why does it have to be
what you're good at?
Because that's the art of it. I think that's the art. So then it plays into the art.
And that goes back to my why. Like, I am a creative person. I'm not a drawer.
Yeah.
But I have always needed a creative outlet of some sort. And, you know, I'm dabbling in different things. Like, I've had a camera in my hand since I was 18, like a DSLR, like a professional camera. And so I've been taking pictures, but it wasn't until I found studio newborn photography inside, using light, playing with the light, playing with textures, backdrops, babies, and hearing like the, oh my gosh, is when you're taking the picture. Like, that's when I feel like I'm creating the art for me. Like, it is your baby. It is your product. But like,
but it's your art.
By hiring me, you're helping my mental health. Like, I need to do that. I can't imagine, maybe one day, 10 years down the line, I'm going to eat my words here, but I can't imagine not doing this. Like, I can't imagine not doing this.
That's amazing that you have that.
But that's it.
That's your purpose.
I think
your reason.
A why is always evolving. My why is to create something, and this is what I have been gifted.
Do you feel like it's evolved over the last 4 years?
I think it's always been to create something. I really do. I think that's been the draw, was to create art.
Have you ever struggled with purpose like I have, or am I just the only one? Hey, if you're not the only, if I'm not the only one, please comment below and tell me.
I think when I lose sight of the why. So when I get too busy sometimes, I don't think that's imposter syndrome. I think it's, I get too busy and I don't have that feeling of like creating, right? It feels almost monotonous, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But when I have the space, when things work out, which luckily this last week I did not have the same, like, because honestly, that's a lot, and it definitely could have come up. But if I get too busy where I can't have that feeling of that I get from my why, like I'm creating art, and if I start feeling like it's just like another day in the studio, then I do lose my sight, like sense of purpose. Then I start questioning like, this is a lot of time with my family. Like, is it worth? House is a wreck. Is it worth it? Like,
is it worth it?
I'm very fortunate on the opposite end that like my husband's job provides for us, and he is amazing at providing for us. Like, he has, I don't want to say he has like this traditional view stance, like that the man provides, the woman doesn't. I think he'd be very happy if I could like provide and he didn't have to, but he does, is a sense of duty and honor for him to provide for us. And so I'm very fortunate in the fact that I've been able to explore this passion and not have to necessarily, not that I don't have to worry, but I don't have the pressure that like, we're not going to eat next week if I don't do this. So like, that really does, I think, change perspective a little bit. So mine is just creating.
That's amazing though. And I will like just clarify that my husband does feel the same way about, he has been the breadwinner and the provider for 20 years. But he got to a point physically, because his job was very physical.
Oh my gosh. But I would just love to be, I would love to one day be what you're going to be like, no, you won't. But to be able to give my husband that time that I've had, you know, like.
Well, because he worked so hard to provide for us for so long. And it got to the point where like he needed neck surgery, and his body is just, it's older than he actually is. And I hate seeing him be in pain all the time. And that he feels like that's all he's good at, and he didn't want to pursue anything else because that's all he felt like he could do. And I didn't want him to suffer anymore. And he missed the kids missed him. And I'm like, I want it to be my turn. And so it's not like it's a forced thing. It's a my choice thing. So like he could easily go back to work and be the breadwinner and tables turn, but we chose for him to take a break and for him to be stay-at-home dad, and be that way I could work more. And
I still think it's amazing though. Like I would 100%, you should feel so proud that you are able to do that.
And I do feel very proud of that. He does have days and stuff like that where he's like, I feel useless.
Yeah.
Or he'll feel that way because like the man in him.
I think that's just a very cultural.
It's a very thing. Yeah. And so he's finding, purpose in other ways, and he'll take odd and end jobs, and he still works. He just doesn't work a 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think maybe differentiates sometimes are your why, my why, and your why. It's so different because we're in we have different perspectives right now on how our season is. Right?
Different family
dynamics. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's my why, is to create. As I would be lost if I couldn't create.
Do you ever feel like stale by doing the same thing over and over again?
I had to buy I had to buy a bunch of backdrops.
You're
and
untwisted.
I had to buy that basket prop because you made me shoot it. Actually,
I made you?
I made you bring it.
Sure.
And then I fell in love with it. And then I was like, if I don't buy this now and it's sold out, I will kick myself forever.
Right.
So I feel, if I feel stale, I do
just buy new stuff.
I try to buy new stuff, or like I have some drops sometimes I haven't used ever,
or try a new pose or something,
or like get a model in.
Yeah.
But I hope that I think that's really cool how we connected, because your why and my why are so different that I think that's why we work together so well, is because you are really starting to make me think about not my purpose, but the validation, on the business side of it, right? Or I take it so personally, so emotionally, and not that you don't, but
I very much do.
Yeah, but that's right now. That's not where you're at, at your business, right? So so that's where I think you're creative. I've got so much creative energy that I'm
and you're helping.
Here you go.
Yeah,
Sprinkle it over. And you're like, hey, maybe start thinking a little more business-like. Here you go.
Yeah, make more money.
And I think that's why we work well together.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. And just FYI, I can't say never. It took a lot of work, to get to feeling like this business-wise.
Yeah.
It was a lot of mental work, I think. And a lot of, just of everything. Yeah. It's not easy. Not easy.
That's one of the reasons I haven't done it. I don't know if I have the stamina to get
it literally took feeling like I was jumping off a bridge to do it.
Yeah.
It was that feeling, that gut-wrenching feeling.
That is such a good analogy, because that's where I feel like I'm standing on the bridge, holding on to the sides, oh, am I gonna go? Oh,
no. And here I am behind you and pushing you.
And I'm death gripping on there. So eventually I'll probably fall.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there.
This will be a legit business one.
Yeah, maybe when you become my studio wife.
Yeah. Well, I'll have no choice then.
Yeah, no.
I was hoping when I got the studio, when I moved out of my house, I'd be like, okay, now I'm legit. And now, this is an imposter syndrome thing, right? So I used to shoot out of my home. I have a formal dining room in my home, or not door, living room in my home. And so I used to shoot out of there. And then eventually, I got too much stuff. It was all stored in my office downstairs, and I wanted it, I didn't feel legit doing it in my living room. So I got a studio. And then I've been a studio, and I'm like, I don't feel legit yet. So that's what it is. That's the imposter syndrome in a nutshell.
It's one of those things where the next pretty thing is going to make me feel better, but then it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh. So we talked about a lot here.
Yeah, we did. In a few little offshoots of
a lot of
off-topic things.
But it's gonna happen with us guys. We haven't seen each other in a month. So
my gosh, yeah. Well, we tried podcasting a couple times, and we just gotta remember those things.
Didn't work.
But if you guys want to tell us your stories about your imposter syndrome stories,
or if you have tips on how you get out of it, because what works for one person, as you can see, doesn't work for the other person.
No, so, everyone's different. Every business is different.
Yeah.
Every family dynamic is different.
Yeah.
So if you want to tell us your stories, comment and let us know.
Maybe we'll share it.
Yeah.
Anonymously in our
you guys can email. You can even email if you don't want to post it publicly. You can email us, and our email will be in the description.
Yeah. So. I think the key points here is you're not alone. Everybody feels that, no matter how many years you've been doing this, seasoned veteran or amateur, you're going to feel this, and it sucks, but you're not alone.
No.
and that
you just got to figure out new ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be ever evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make sure you have a photog buddy that even if they're cross country, that's even better.
Yeah.
I mean, not because you don't get to see them, but you can have really cool vacations that way.
Yeah,
like
true. You FaceTime,
and then visit every 6 months. That'd be awesome. All right, maybe I'm moving out to Hawaii. You can visit me.
Oh God, don't move to Hawaii.
It's getting better every time.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, and I think for me, even like for my feeling of wanting to be perfect, nobody's perfect in this industry. You're never going to have a perfect session. Sorry. I mean, burst in that bubble. You're never going to have a perfect session. You're never going to have, it's never going to be perfect. And so like, I think once you can kind of let go of chasing that idea of perfection, that will help numb the pain when you start to get into that imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. And instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to your past self.
Yeah. Because I guarantee I know you're not seeing you're seeing the best of the best from them.
Yeah, it's a highlight reel. Yeah, you're not seeing like the 500 shots that they took before they got that one. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I could post my best session this last week, and you'll see 20 images that are fantastic. But there are 100 images behind that are not fantastic.
That are not.
And like 3 other setups that just are like meh.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had clients like not choose whole sets before, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I do all the time, but I do a lot of sets, so that's probably why.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that
next
time.
We talk about trends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming back. We promise to do this every 2 weeks now that we've figuring this out.
We've got a system in place.
I think we have a plan.
I think so.
We have a plan.
Until Michigan winter hits.
Yes. Yeah. Don't do that. But yeah, we're going to be posting a new one every 2 weeks from now on.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys have any ideas or topics that you guys want us to cover, or you want to hear us just chit chat about, let us know. And then, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Bye.